Ladies and gentlemen, Aviation Daily here, coming at you with not an airport update. What am I saying? We're doing the Velocity versus JetBlue models. Velocity versus Gemini. That's what I meant to say. Velocity versus Gemini model match off. Dun 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 dun. Anyways, so basically we're going to be battling this guy, Gemini Jets, versus Velocity. Oh. I think I got a bit. No. Velocity versus Gemini. Velocity versus Gemini. There. I thought I got a pencil mark on him. If I did, I'm a failure. I failed if I got a pencil mark on this guy. I literally just got him in the mail. So, I don't want to screw him up that fast. I mean, eventually all models grow old, and then they start to, the paint starts to fade away, and they, you know what? You know what I mean. You all know what I mean. Anyways, yeah, so let's get right into it. So right now we're going to judge gear-wise. So, as you can see, the Gemini gear, nice and high. Tires are big. Velocity gear, very detailed. A lot more detailed than Gemini's. But the tires are smaller. However, the nose just gives Velocity the best lead. It's low to the ground. I call the A320, I compare it kind of to a dash hound because it's low to the ground. It's really low to the ground. I mean, it's not 737 low to the ground. Actually. It's not that low to the ground. Yeah, this guy's the dash hound right here. The 737s are the dash hound when it comes to gear. But it's not that low, but it's pretty low. It's not that high either. I gotta give it to Gemini, though. Those tires, you know what? I think Gemini's done the more realistic gear. So, I applaud you, Gemini. These gear that you made are they're actually pretty nice. So, I would highly recommend the Gemini Jets gear. Okay, let's go to mold. Gemini Jets put the hubcap. Frontier, or not Frontier. Velocity, unfortunately, did not include one. So, I gotta give it to Gemini. It's just a lot more detailed, and it looks really nice. It looks really sleek. However, I think Velocity will advance a lot more, and as they advance, they'll get better and better and better molds. Okay, next thing we're going to compare, because I'm kind of short for time. Tails. Tails. Da-da-da. Okay, so, right now, the Velocity APU looks a lot more realistic, so I've got to say that Velocity wins this. Their tail is really, really nice. Their APU is a lot bigger. It's really hard to see, somewhat, but the Velocity APU is just a lot better on this model. So I would highly recommend it. So far it looks like it's taken the lead. Velocity is 2-1 compared to Jetwar. No, they're 1-2. Gemini Jets. Anyways. So the next thing we're going to be doing, the second last thing, is the wings. Now the reason I'm comparing the wings of these two models, I'm switching the JetBlue for a American A321, is because it has sharklets. Now this model is sharklets, and it's really hard to compare a model without sharklets to a model with sharklets, because the wings actually have changed. Now it's kind of hard to tell, but the wings have changed a tiny bit. And they haven't changed in the way Velocity has shown them, I personally think. Velocity shows the wings to the point where they rake them up. They're kind of raked up compared to the Gemini Jets, who have their wings are a lot lower to the ground. But the winglets on the Velocity models are just a lot more realistic. So, I'm going to give sharklets I gotta give Sharklets to Velocity. But that doesn't mean they've won the whole wing section, because we then judge detail. So, detail, there's so much. I need to dust this with my finger, because that's a lot of cotton and hair and cat hair and stuff. Crazy. Anyways, we have the Gemini wings, which look really nice. You have the Velocity wings, which are very nice too. Both wings are well done. But detail. Gotta give it to these guys. Gemini is notorious for its wing and engine detail. The wing detail on Gemini is a lot better, but it's gonna lead up to the engines. And don't do that. Don't do that to me. Okay. So there's the one engine on the Velocity Models aircraft. And I'm going to switch for the JetBlue, Switching for the JetBlue A320 because they have the same engines. Actually, you know what? I'm going to compare both engines. I know this seems unbiased, but it is truly biased. But actually, you know what? We're going to compare this guy's engines. Just because his engines are a lot newer. They made the American A321 a lot newer than the JetBlue A320. So that's why I'm going to be comparing him. But I'm only doing that because this model is really, really new. It just came out in February, so I've got to compare the new models to the new models. But the rest of the detail is pretty much the same on the JetBlue compared to most of the A320s, except for some of the older A320s, like some of the United A320s. But I would say currently, it's around the same detail. So I've got this video pretty much on the ball, but I think everything's looking good. So right now, it is 3 for Gemini and 2 for Gemini and 1 for Velocity. So, engine. I gotta give the engines to Gemini, just because it's got a lot of detail in the size category. I don't know. Velocity's got good engines, but they could really improve. I think that I gotta give this to Gemini. So Gemini's got better wings. So right now it's tied. We're 2-2. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna take it off the tripod. Now, last but not least, we're comparing detail in the undercarriage category. So both aircraft are on their left side, and we're just going to look at them. So Gemini, actually, you know what? I can't... Realistically, this isn't the regular Gemini detail. I mean... Now, the reason I'm saying this is because there were a lot more this is the regular Gemini undercarriage detail, pardon me. As you can see, 2 models in a row have the same quality of detail. So, realistically, this is the normal Gemini detail. So I gotta give detail to Velocity. So, right now, the winner of better model, I'm going to say, detail-wise, compared to Gemini, is Velocity. Velocity really got on the ball. So, good job, Velocity. Good job, James. You have done well. However,